Basically, we're going to produce a definition of EA. Okay. We're going to refer to the mode. Right. We are then going to define some artifacts. Right. So I'll put some artifacts out there. You guys will then say, no, you missed this, you missed that. We will then look at some of the elements of EA. So I'm going to present you with my view of EA. Right. Okay. I'm going to talk through the stack. I'll present you my view. We'll have a discussion. We're going to look at some artifacts, we're going to have an exercise, then we're going to look at 3 types of projects. We're going to look at a waterfall type project, we're going to look at an agile, and we're going to have a look at a JFDI type project. We're going to look at the Touchpoints, right, okay? We're then going to merge all of that stuff together, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do some mapping, okay? So we're going to map projects to the artifacts. Okay. So there's a bit of exercise and there's a bit of me talking as well.
So just on JFDI, is that just F-in?
Yeah, just F-in there. Right. I got told off last night for, I didn't put it in the slide, but
You never.
my rather pompous little son said I couldn't use that. So, okay, so.
For pompous son.
So, basically, what I put here, I'll put some statements up here, right, okay? And what the key words for me is creation, alignment, recalibration, okay? Those are 3 key words we're going to use today. There are other words, but we're going to focus on those ones. I'm going to present a notional model, right? We're going to map some of the artifacts to that notional model, and we're going to then look at the enterprise program and projects journey, okay?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Do you need the word re in recalibration?
Recalibration.
Yeah, because almost that denotes sort of backwards looking.
Well, no, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
There's a slide that yeah, we'll come back to that. There's a reason for that. Okay. Right, so the workshop structure is we will exploit and derive a consensus of enterprise systems architecture. Right? I will present the Notional Stack, highlight some focus areas. Okay? We will then work in teams. And talk about typical artifacts. Okay? And I'm trying to break these artifacts down. And that'll become clearer as we go through. I'll also present some focus areas, and then we will then work to map some of this stuff. And I'll try to do it we and I. So I'm going to give my opinion. You may think my opinion is crap, and I'm happy to be challenged because we're all learning. But the outcome is basically common understanding of enterprise systems architecture, put the word there, an appreciation of, if you're working in a project, right, the kind of things you have to produce. So, for instance, we did a project recently where the supplier charges X amount per day. Now, rather than updating a solution design document, we said, no, do a briefing note or 1-pager, so long as it captures all the information. Okay? So, let's start. And at any point, this is a workshop, it's not a Dalgit presentation, all right? So, right, okay, so, I put a definition up, I knocked it up quite quickly, right, over a glass of red wine, and I've put enterprise systems architecture, the process, patterns and practices associated with the alignment and recalibration of the organisational technology landscape to that of its business operating model. That will become clearer as we go through the stack. The kind of things I was thinking about, right, okay, so when we talk about alignment activities, what I'm talking about there is how we run the organisation, okay? And we're talking about, we're going to discuss the business operating model. And within the business operating model, we might have business models, Also, the drivers for change, if there are any business drivers, the technical drivers, the services, if your company's involved in mergers and acquisitions, regulation, and third parties. Now, that's just some I've put up, Right? So that I've put up in the alignment. So basically, if your business, the way it operates and the way it interacts with third parties, government, or anything else, if that is going to change, then you, as an enterprise systems architect, are looking to align your technology landscape to those changes. That's what I'm trying to put there. And on the bottom side, and I may have missed something, but I've said, right, okay, so one part is about how the business is changing, so it's about how the business you run. The second part is really about, you're going to look at protection activities. You're going to look at integrity, not just of data, but integrity of the systems. Optimization, maintenance, efficiency. If there's anything else I've missed, let me know. And then what I've done is I've said, okay, well that's all about calibration. It's your technology landscape. You do these activities, and you're constantly recalibrating. But on the back of that, we've also got some creation, adding value. We've got some stuff in the background which we talk about. Well, okay, new capabilities. You may have a new business driver that results in a new capability. Okay? Then I've also said new products and services. New services and extensions, so extending existing services through new channels. So that's where I'm coming from. When I talk about enterprise systems architecture, I'm talking about how we run the business and how we map it to the technology landscape. Yeah? Okay. So that's me. So anything to do with the DB is me. Right? Okay. Now I'm going to elaborate on that just a little bit. So I've used this stack numerous times and it has evolved. I've added new things to it. So at the very top of the stack, we've got the business operating model. Okay? Within that business operating model, we may have business models. So your organisation will have one overall operating model, the way it runs itself. But within that, it may have several different models. It's a kind of one-to-many. So you may be business to business, business to consumer. On the left hand side, I've also said, well, how do we actually pull resources in and out the organisation? That affects the business operating model, the strategic drivers, organisational, industry, and then the structure of the business. You're not starting from a green field, you normally inherit something, or, okay, so at the very top layer, business operating model. Now, when we start talking about the business operating model and we start decomposing it, we'll talk about some of these things, okay? But because we are talking about artifacts, I just want to set the scene and the context. Right, in order to realise that business operating model, we have a set of business processes, okay? These business processes can be manual, automated, formal, they can be outsourced, straight through, but these business processes are orchestrated to support the business operating model. Okay? I'm going to whiz through this quick now because the rest is kind of... In order to execute and orchestrate those business processes, we have a set of capabilities. Now, one of the things I've been thinking about a lot lately is, under capabilities, I've put channels. I don't know if that's the right place, I'm still thinking about it. But then I started looking at the different types of channels. So IVR, web, I started looking at the different type of channels, and that's why I've put it under capabilities and services. But if someone disagrees with me on that, please let me know, because I'm still thinking about it. I'm thinking about, the way it's all going to work eventually. And then under those capabilities and services, I'll put data visualization, I'll put innovation, tactical versus operational. So we then start going further down the stack. In order to realise those capabilities, we have a set of applications. These applications can be custom off the shelf, these could be bespoke, and it goes on and on. Yeah? We normally have a set of frameworks that support those applications. Underneath that, we have the data and information, and we have what Ed was talking about earlier on, but we also have the classification of their data, how you're sharing with third parties. We then move further down the stack, we have the services, the logical technology and the enabling. A wrapper around all of that, we have the value-added hygiene services. So the stuff you would have as typical as NFRs, security, governance, compliance. That's a wrap around everything. So that's the stack. The stack has a point in time. That point in time changes, depending on what your drivers for change. So you would have different pictures for each layer of the stack. Yeah? And then, I'll put current, transitional, target. I always use the word transitional because it's an interim state to the target. Anyway, so that's the stack. And I've rushed through that a bit because I want to bring that up. And I'll print some of these out. Okay? And we're going to use these to hold. Behind this, so basically what I've done here is I've gone to the next level of decomposition. Okay? So it's all fine putting up a stack and it's fantastic. But how do you actually, and we're talking about the enterprise architecture mindset, right? Now bear in mind the mindset is about alignment of the business operating model to the technology landscape. So at the very top, I've put the tools that you might want to use in order to understand that particular layer. So here in the right-hand side, we've got ports 5 forces. Standard model, you can use, market analysis. I've put various tools that you might want to use. So I've kind of, I'm trying to. So I don't know if anyone, in macroeconomics, we have structure, conduct, performance, how one relates to the other. So I'll try to put that in the business operating model. In order for an enterprise architect to understand how the business is operating, not in its current state, but also the external forces around, these are some of the type of things that you would need to consider. Okay? But that's very businessy, right? Now, we then go down a layer and we start looking at the typical activities related to business processes. So, you may disagree. Why would an EA care about notational standards? Well, it's quite important because notational standards are the way you represent your organisation. Okay, I'm biased towards UML. And then also I've put manual, outsource, redesign, annotations. And what I'm trying to do here is go through each layer and say that at each layer there's a lot of thinking to do, right? And your average EA needs to be, you're not going to do a 4-day TOGAF course and understand all this stuff, right? It's understanding the market, your technology landscape, and how everything interacts, okay? Now, the reason... There's tools. So I've put notations, I've put redesign. So under redesign, I've put tools, methods to identify processes for redesign, gaps, improvements. Yeah? Okay. And then the bit below, the capabilities and services, I've also put innovation, because innovation in its own self is a capability service. This round wheel, I've done that on purpose. If you want to know what that is, you're going to have to buy my book. Anyway, right? But that's basically the challenge. Yeah? And then you go down, you go into the applications, then you go down even further. And at the very bottom layer, I've got service delivery, service design, security, and all the other stuff. So this, I would say, is you step back, and this is what an enterprise architect would encapsulate. Yeah? Okay. Right, so that's my view of enterprise architecture. Happy to be challenged on it, right? Happy for, if I've done anything wrong, if I've missed something, I'm happy to be corrected, okay? So...
This is like Dragon's Den, we all go around the table. This is really...
No, so that's what I've put out there. What do you guys? So now I'm going to stand on this side and you tell me what you think an artifact is. It's quite important as we move forward. Do you agree with that, first of all?
Without splitting words, yes. You can argue it for as long as you want, and also agree it's like
okay. But there's two things I want to highlight here, right? One is, for me, is an object of value, okay? So, what really winds me up, big time, right? is we talk about architectural principles. So we have a document that's called an architectural principle document. Now, it serves its function, right? But to add value, to continue to add value, you know, that principle, you don't need to spend years producing it, okay? You know? And I know from one example where they spent 3 months, just one guy's wasting his life on architectural principles, okay? So for me, the key word is object of value, okay? And the other one is control, informed, direct, landscape, technology landscape, okay? Right, so with that in mind, I'm going to put up some examples of what I think, oh, I've got the EOS line working. Right, so what do you, we've got 3 boards here, right, okay. The reason I put, so I mentioned alignment, and I mentioned calibration and create, okay. So what I'd like you to do is give me, I don't know, 5, 6 artifacts that you think you would use in a project. You know, it doesn't matter what, a solution design document is an example, just, you know, give me 5 or 6 things. So on that board, I want the alignment stuff, you guys, yeah, right, pen for you. On that board, I want calibration, right, okay, right, I didn't put recalibration, right, okay, and on this board, stuff that we would...
It's 2 last year.
All right, the way to think of it is running the business. So anything you do to run your business, what are the artifacts that you need? You know, and there's some clues here, so you could rip that off. Right on this side, so U4 on that, U4. On that, sorry, U4 on that. You think about the calibration activities. So that's more to do with the technology landscape. So, production acceptance process, that could be an artifact, okay? And this one, you guys, and glass it in the back, the kind of things that we would always have to create new, yeah? Okay? Why don't we spend 10 minutes on that? Okay? Just don't knock, just knock yourselves out and try and come up with stuff. Go for it. Right, okay, so we had some stuff on the create, so I'm just going to throw out some ideas out there, and then I'm going to put some example products out, and then we're going to cut those projects, and that's really what we're here for, okay? So on the alignment side, do you have business process models? Yeah, definite. Business models, definite. Financial control framework. But that, okay, all right. That's interesting. I've never seen that in an EA function. The financial control framework.
Yeah.
Is that really part of the EA function and not part of the...
Well, so there's a couple of things. I'm wondering whether we're mixing up a couple of things, right? So, for example, I'll give you an example. If I was going into a company and they said, oh, by the way, we're doing a merger, we're acquiring a company, and we want to bring them into our framework, then all I would do would be a difference architecture, or a sort of, let's call it this one. It's a bit horrible, but a sort of umbilical cord architecture, you know?
What, bring the whole
A
thing?
connectivity type of architecture. That's all I would do, because if my digital charter said that actually I'm never going to connect these 2 companies together, I'm actually going to run them in a 2-tier fashion,
But then
that would dictate the sort of alignment that I did.
I've got a bit, probably a great example as well. So at the moment, one of my projects is we're looking at the ERP platforms.
Good man.
Through mergers and acquisitions, we've got a complicated financial control framework, which is...
But you've still got chart of accounts for the 2 companies. That's your start for 10, isn't it? Your chart of accounts.
Yes.
Yeah, but you might not be interested in the second tier, but you might only be interested in a roll-up version of the second tier at the top
Yeah.
tier.
See, okay, so I worked at UBS when the two banks were merging, so maybe it's not the same, yeah. But when I think of financial control framework, I think about the wrappers around, you know, architect, you know, the accounting practice principles and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For me, what I would be looking at is I would be looking at common services. So say for instance you've got Oracle and you've got SAP and it's a financial system. I'll say, right, do they both use the same
Yeah.
You don't need to go that deep these days. You've got to
You've got to
goes back down to your business models and your business, yeah, okay, I'll
Yeah.
set that. Business capability, business drivers, internal, external, spot on. Right. So
He's agreed with what.
no, I think, you know what, I think if you think you can buy a piece of software and parachute it in without, you know.
No, I think you're missing that. Let me have another go. Let me have another
We'll
go.
have a go offline later
No,
on.
but let me have
Over a
another
drink.
go.
Over a
You
drink,
would go
because
to
we need to.
B&Q and buy a kitchen that had standard size cupboards, right? But what you would do is, you would measure your kitchen, you'd optimise the amount of standard size cupboards you could put in, and then you would maybe get somebody to work around the spaces that perhaps weren't.
Right, okay.
And
this
that's
is
all
where
I'm
we-
talking about.
Okay, but that's where we start moving into the micro capabilities and services and the extension of existing software, right? But, look, I'm not here to give a lecture. So calibration, you've got service architecture, document, what's that? Product assessment.
Product assessment, documentation and risk management documentation set. We then went on to a discussion as to whether or not it's calibration or alignment. We were talking about different artefacts.
Okay, well, I know where you're coming from with the risk, that's, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But we did digress into a discussion about alignment, whether it's
All right.
alignment or whether it could be in both.
Oh. Okay, so on the creation side, you put team creation. Elaborate on that, as an artifact.
This was more like team structure, wasn't it? Yes.
Team structure.
Yeah.
Did you say that? Okay.
Because
Right.
you might need to create a team for a given project to actually work with the business.
So the idea was that when we are working on the business model, the roadmap, we need to engage with different departments. So we need to be clear what that team would be, which is helping in this business model, the business objective that we're after.
Okay, all right, we'll discuss this in the pub as well. Right, let's.
Are you right?
I am actually. Right, so we had some artifacts, it was just to get your brain ticking over. These will be in the slides, but what I tried to do was divide up. I've used this quite a few over the past few years. I didn't like Microsoft years ago. I've tried to break this up: principles, practices, processes, patterns, portfolio management. This is on the slide deck. I don't want to spend too much time on this because
He doesn't want us all looking. Sorry, I said that out loud.
don't start me off on SAP. Right. So this is really what I want us to get to. Okay. So I've got a list here. Right. It's in no order whatsoever, and you know it's. So, for me, what I'm seeing a lot of at the moment, API management, that's an artifact in itself. You know, if you're nowadays you're buying a lot of web services, the management of the interfaces between your system, producer, consumer, you know, that's quite a big artifact. The governance process, I call that an artifact. And I've listed some stuff. Okay, listed some stuff. Reference models, I'm kind of changing my views on reference models at the moment, and I think we'll come back to that when we start talking about projects and things of value. Stakeholder engagement, stakeholder management. You know, if you're running an EA function, that's quite an important function because if they're paying your bill, and this is why I'm always asking, who's funding it? Because when you know who's funding it, that's when you know what outcomes you're meant to produce as a function. So I've put some stuff there. I mean, these will be up. These are up on Slido, so we can use these. Okay. This is just the starting of a list. Now I've started putting together a whole list, and what I'm trying to do with this list is put some context to each product and then say where to use it. Okay? And this is why this session came about. Right, now we're going to start the good stuff, okay? Which we're running a bit late. Right, okay, so first of all, do you agree with this statement? Right? Irrespective of the project methodology, right? Forget what type of project you're using, right? Everything will have one of these. Right? It will have a start, it will have a finish, it will have a cost. Okay? So I'll say irrespective, don't care what project methodology you're using, a start, a finish, and a cost. Okay, we all kind of agree with that. That's a no-brainer. Now, it may or may not have some milestones. It depends how you're running it. Right? It may have a set of activities. It may have a set of service consumers and producers. It have one or many stakeholders, set of outcomes and values. So what I'm trying to say there is every piece of work or project, whatever you want to call it, has one of these things. Okay? And that's quite important to remember.
Can I add something into that as well,
Huh?
Dale? It would also have quality of the output.
Yeah, I just
Whether
got
it's
these up
good
quick,
enough, whether
but
it's, that's something else every project or programme will have
Yeah.
quality.
but some have probably all seen it before. Pre-project, initiation, subsequent, blah, blah, blah. And now if we map that down, we can say, right, analysis, design, build, test, deploy, manage. Right, so as an exercise, what I wanted to do is say, right, let's try and map some of the artifacts to this. Yeah, okay, so this is the next section. Right, now, we're going to break up again in 3 sections. Right, now I've put control, inform, direct. Yeah, I like that because that's what enterprise architects do. Right, so what I'd like to do, let's do 2 things. Let's not get carried away here. Yeah, okay, 2 artifacts that you would expect to see in a classic project. Okay, 2 artifacts. That's all I want to see. Okay, can we knock them up on the board? And I want to. There's a reason I want to. Right. So if we can go back to our original groups, come up with 2 artifacts.
Okay. 2 for each area.
Well, 2 for the stages, not so much the analysis, design, build, test. That's just there to remind you that in the delivery you're doing all of that. In the final stage you're doing all of that. That's what I'm trying to do there. But just 2 artifacts that you would, yeah? Quick, just 2 artifacts. Don't even think about it. Just do 2 things that you
We'll have a beer later.
I'm drinking from that. Anyway, so we've looked at classic project. We've listed some artifacts down. Yeah. Okay. Now, what we're now going to do is go to the next type of project, and this is why I was asking for 2. Not more than 2. Now, the next type of project, right, is quite straightforward. SCRUM, product backlog. You've got product backlog. You've got sprint. Finished product, blah, blah, blah. I've thrown in Six Sigma there just to kind of get your mind working as well. So if you could think of, if you worked in an agile type environment, what are the 2 artifacts that you need to produce? Now don't cheat and say, we need a product backlog, right? Do not cheat and say, we need sprint retrospective reviews, okay? Just think about projects you've worked in and you're knocking out really quick, okay? 2. Got 2, let's start. Come on, we want to move to the next one now. So that was the SCRUM. Have we all got 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, never in trouble.
Right, the next type of project. The next type of project, right, is what I call just do it. Oh shit. I got that from Microsoft. We're purely outcome focused. Time to market is critical. No thought is given to cost, and no project structure. your boss turns around to you and says, right, we need this new capability, just do it. Right, okay? So and this is really the hard one, right? What are the kind of artefacts that we would want to produce? You say solution, so we're going to go back to each one of these and map them back. But just think of 2 things in a JFDI type of scenario that you would want to produce. Or you think, you know what, I need to produce that because the system's going to be able to support and someone needs to support that. Yeah? So just 2 things. This is the hard one.
And that's where we're probably got a deadline.
That's where right, come on. 2. You've got 2. So you've got 1. Proof of concept.
Just think about bundles.
Lovely.
Bundle.
Well, you've got to, you still got to otherwise you're going to have people clashing. So you've got to have.
You might like
I just want to talk about each one with each scenario, right? So for instance, solution design documents. So we talked about 3 different project types, yeah? Let's talk about those 3, let's talk about solution design document in the context of those 3 project types, yeah? Did you have solution as well? Did you have solution?
Yeah, solution overview, we've got some same.
Okay, so we have a solution design document, which is going to lead on to the next slide. Yeah. Okay. Now, when is it of value to produce one, right? And when is it of value not to produce one? So, for example, say for instance you're deploying Skype for Business. Yeah. Okay. You laugh. You're deploying Skype for Business, right? Now, would you need to produce a solution design document for Skype for Business? No? Yes? We're going to come back to that in the next slide. Right? Okay? But a lot of the stuff is already produced. So if you go to Microsoft TechNet, they've already designed the deployment models, the patterns, they've done all the work for you. You just have to pick it and say, right, that's the hardware I'm going to deploy. Right, so we're going back to this artifact and we've got 3 different types of projects. So, would you need, in a standard waterfall type project where life is a bit longer, right, you may want to produce a solution design document, right, okay? And we're going to go through each one of these, so I'll speed it up as much as possible, so please throw your bits in, right? In a SCRUM type project, would we need a solution design document?
You need something to guide the actual frame. And so things to capture all of the NFRs, the security, maintainability, all that stuff, so it gets lost. You don't have an overarching. Now, it's not going to be the same level of detail as a waterfall solution design document, but it will have the basic, what are the rules of my solution you guys have to remember. We've decided we're having these 5 chunks, but you can do what the hell you like doing those 5 chunks.
I think it also gives
wiki page or something, you need to have something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be really simple.
Yeah.
It has to be in the context of the organisation, so that you know.
And the context of the project.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're saying, as EAs, we will always come across. So now we're moving into our little EA domain. Yeah. As EAs, we will always expect to see a design document of some kind. Yeah. Whether it's heavy, lightweight, we always expect to see one. Okay. And the value in that is it gives the context of the system being built and deployed. Okay? So that's a tick in the box for all 3 types of projects. So no matter what type of project you're working on, right, even if it's one of those, we would expect to see a design document of some kind. Yeah? You see where I'm going with this? Then we'll move to the next one. Then, test strategy. Right. I think that's a no-brainer, really. Okay. Right, so in a waterfall project, we'll have a test document, a test strategy. A lot of the test strategies I've read are war and peace, and there's a lot of waffle. Yeah. Okay. No, they are. And my question is always, how much value do they constantly keep adding? Right. So when we're talking about a waterfall type project, I would say yes, you've got to have a test strategy, right? But more important than test execution plan, how you can actually do it. The test strategy is.
So walk into a new business that you've never been into. And if you want a business embedded, peace, it's reused, so it becomes an endemic part of the business and you're used to it. Now go as a new employee. What's your test strategy within this business?
Right, okay. So, first of all, it depends what we're testing. Okay, if we're testing a small piece of system.
You said a big project, so...
Oh, okay, big projects. I think...
Yeah, if you're just going to test, if you're correcting like a modification or doing change management, whatever, it's not...
Well, when we talk about the test strategy, now we're going to say size is big, small, medium, you know. What we're trying to get to is the value of it. So it doesn't...
I do think a test strategy is of value, even if it's only just to go through and say, we're not going to do that test, we're not going to do that. You can make informed decisions as to what you're going to do with it.
Right, but when we map it to the different project types, what I'm trying to get to is a list. If I was drawing a matrix,
Yeah.
I'd have the 3 project types and say, yes, I expect to see that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what I'll do is, when we take these, I'll take these away and I'll put them in a little list and I'll try and... So we would expect a test strategy,
Yeah.
but the complexity of it would vary depending on the project.
And I'll ask you, at the end of the day, your testing doesn't get full coverage and someone comes knocking on the door and saying what went wrong, and the first thing they say is, where was your strategy?
Risk-based strategy, let's go to that.
Are we going
Anyway, right, okay, so another tick in the box. As an enterprise architect, we would always expect to see that. Yeah? As an enterprise architect, we'd expect to see a deployment. That's given. I think you always need it. Not so much a strategy, but...
An approach.
Yeah.
You need something to show how you're going to deploy, what you're going to deploy, what the approach is going to be.
You put a plan on the end of the
Yeah,
one.
yeah, strategy plan.
Yeah,
You need
okay.
something for the
Development.
deployment approach. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I'd like not a deployment strategy, but the platforms and the level 0 I normally
Yeah,
do. What what VMs you're going to run. Okay, so that's another tick in the
Yeah,
box.
so I'd look at that slightly. So I tend to look for I call it implementation plan or whatever, but I'm typically looking for who's doing what, when, what they're doing. I don't necessarily get down into the detail of
I like
what
to
she's
so-
going where and what, because I suppose I expect to see that in the...
Well, I like to see simple boxes.
Yeah, yeah.
Presentation tier, application tier, blah, 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 what networks it's going to use, what firewalls surround it. For me, and then what components are deployed on it. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
The planning side of it, to me, is like the next stage there. But that's... Because first of all, you need to know what your target's going to be, and then you say, right, okay, how am I going to, how many VMs am I going to spin up and all that nonsense. Okay, so going back to, as an EA, I would expect to see tick, tick, tick so far. Stakeholder agreement plan. Yeah.
Is that stakeholder management plan or what?
No, I know where you're going, but now I'm going to this type of project. Would my stakeholders and they would
No. There'll be more, no, prints,
Okay, alright.
traditional project management.
As an EA, I'm putting it out there now, would you expect to see a stakeholder agreement plan in the 3 different project types?
I'd expect to see something somewhere to say, go do it.
Yeah.
Now, in a JFDI, the stakeholder is normally the person shouting. So, I'm assuming there'd be some record which says, he told me to go do it.
Okay, alright. I'm going to try, as I said, I want to take all this material, I'm going to try and put it in a matrix, and what I'll do is, I'll send it out to everyone, maybe we can start a little debate about it, because I kind of, Alright, what's that? Software design doc?
This was for
The individual components?
basically again going into your agile, it's just the agile learning.
Right,
That's
okay.
cool.
It's about the only thing you have that records what the team's developing you've actually done.
Right, okay, alright. Components, alright. Alright. If that's got the component list and all the interfaces, then I agree. I would expect to see that.
Most often, not literally just wants to go read code
Right,
for X.
now, you're a solution architect, enterprise? Right, now, what I'm trying to do is say, right, as an enterprise architect, would you expect to see that?
Yeah.
Right, okay, ticking the box, job done. Right, the next one was that, user stories. Yeah, as an EA, you'd expect to see that.
Development list. Development list. It's the next one.
Development list.
So, signal to that list or hot list,
Oh,
which
right.
have been
okay.
collected
Bug
over
list.
periods. Yeah.
Yeah, as an EA, would you expect to see that? You just want the outcome, don't you?
Yeah, I want to be, yeah. Well, I assume the project's doing
So as an
properly.
essay, okay, definite. As an EA, maybe not. Right, okay. Finally, one up the mark of the neck. Can I just call that bug list, yeah?
Yeah.
Although, saying that, if the project's running behind, you want to know what's going wrong, you might need to.
Yeah.
Might, you know.
As a, yeah, only in a, I suppose, exceptions.
Yeah, you
hopefully.
need to know as a reference point, don't you?
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect to see it as a standard document.
So it depends how far you need to drill down. Isn't it?
Well, yeah.
If they go swimming.
Right, now what we're doing is we're focusing on one particular type of system, aren't we? We're not now looking at, we're saying, right, okay. User stories, yes, I'd expect to see that. Would you expect to see that?
It's tricky one, actually. Where you draw the line between EA and essays, and essay, absolutely.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah.
All right, you know what, let's speed this up, yeah? Yes, I think you would as user stories, because you want to know what the system, what it's meant to deliver, and what reusable...
Well, once the project's running, user stories can come into effect throughout the whole cycle of the project. And actually, as an EA, I'll be looking at governance across the project. I wouldn't want to be getting down into the detail of the project. I would expect the user stories to be naturally created, dealt with, etc. over the life cycle. I might say, have you spoken to all the right users?
Well, I would say the same thing. I'd want to know that they're there as a reference point, but I probably wouldn't be that bothered
No.
about
Right.
seeing.
Let's whip this through now. So I'm going to go through these quite quickly. Yeah? Proof of concept. I would always want to know the outcome of proof of concept. I wouldn't want to know about the proof of concept itself. Oh,
It's a tricky one actually, because you want to make sure it's as designed.
well, proof of concepts are quick knock-ups. It's
Yeah.
really to give you that visualisation, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that?
I'd listen, yeah, so.
Bug list, so, no. Right, okay. So we've got a couple of reds. Right. So, let's do that one. So what we're doing, as I said, we're going artefacts. As an EA, am I interested in these artefacts? As an EA, definitely interested in service architecture. Definitely, you want to know how it's going to go out there. Product assessment.
Yeah, that's actually the previous exercise.
No, but they're all artefacts.
Okay.
So my kind of
Yeah.
thing was throw the artefacts down there.
Okay.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
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 Risk management document set. As an EA, you need to know.
Yeah, you do need
Yeah.
to. Yeah. You need to know what business risks are, don't you?
All right. What's
Not
this?
necessarily your own technical risks.
Initiation
So we're talking
period.
about the Prince 2, so we're talking about business case.
Yeah, as an EA, you'd want to see that.
Because you've got the
Yeah.
project brief as well, but the business benefits of the...
Right. Bid radar, you went all day down. Okay, design docs. What's this AIS?
Acceptance and service.
Oh, it's production acceptance. Can I just change that? I'll line this up. Project action reviews. As an
Lessons
EA.
learned.
Right, so as an EA, what do you think? I'm going to put it to
What would
you.
that?
Lessons learned type.
Project action review lessons
Yeah.
learned.
Yeah, because you want to understand if there are any impact back into the overall architecture.
Yeah.
It's part of governance.
A bit like you might actually want to look at PID, depending on the scale of the project.
Yeah.
If it's a strategic project, absolutely. If it's a
Yeah, well, yeah, it's got key risks,
All right, so you've got user personas.
which is your
Yeah.
user
And
stories.
Kanban board. Okay.
Yeah.
CSFs.
Yeah.
As an EA, do you really care about CSFs? Think about 3 different project types.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to.
Okay,
No,
I'll come back to that.
probably not. I mean, I was thinking
Solution
service delivery,
identification.
yeah.
Stakeholder map. I don't know, as an EA, do you really... Okay.
No, because you should be one of the stakeholders, not.
Alright, we'll move on to the next one. Speed. And what I was trying to say was that they're two different things, right? Okay, and what I tried to do here is to say, right, as an EA, I'm interested in you know, the impact of the system design, you know, if I've got solution design, how's it going to impact the estate? That's what I'm interested in. And I'm not just kind of, so basically I broke this down. Have a look at it if you get some time, right? And this is what I think a solution architect does.
I feel you have to be very careful because little side issue. A lot of times the EAs will go down into the SA role, and a lot of times the SA has to go up. So there's a very thick grey boundary there.
And this is why, right? And this is why I call it enterprise systems architecture.
And I kind of like your wording
because we get a lot of waffle, right? Let's be honest, we do. You know, and the whole reason the whole enterprise architecture game is in a bit of a, you know, and this is why I always start by asking for funding. The solution architecture, have a look at this, you know, send me your honest opinion, it's on my blog, have a look at it. And if I've done, so options, I've done, you know, buy, build, extend, all the usual kind of stuff. But I've tried to dissect it and say what are the products that are being produced. If there's anything wrong, you know, if you find a mistake, let me know because I'm...
There's 3 roles, isn't there? You've got the SA, you've got the technical TA and the enterprise architect. Aren't the 3 roles completely discrete? The fact that an EA may go down into an SA, if they can do that in the knowledge, so they're doing 2 jobs.
So if you want a
2 roles.
textbook answer,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
There is nowhere in the real world that they don't know something.
No.
And therefore the
But
textbooks are wrong.
But that's similar with things like program and project management. People always get those, and business change, they always get all those things.
So there's what you teach in class,
Yeah,
all right, and then there's the rest of the world. So first thing you need to get your driving license is you learn to drive it.
yeah.
And I think in this community, we should be looking not what the textbook answer is, but actually what the real world answer is.
But the textbook answer is there for a reason. The textbook is there for a reason to give a proper framework
Keep
that
academics.
we should be aspiring to. We should be.
No, I disagree.
We're talking about demarcation.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
disagree. The more flexible your workforce is, the more successful you are. If you start saying, I can't do that because I'm an EA, or I can't do that because I'm an SA.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that an EA can do an SA role, they can be merged, but there's got to be a knowledge, and that EA has got to be able to turn around and say, actually, I'm treading over the line here. But they've got.
You can only do that if you've got a lot of staff. So if you've got a solution architect and you've got an enterprise architect. In some organisations, they kind of like merge over and they have a pool of people and they share the work.
I think there's a guideline. I think there's a guideline of what an EA should normally be doing, like the estate, the overall business understanding. Great, I get that, as you say, that's the generic area. But I think once you get to detailing this kind of level, if you don't draw the grey boundaries and teach the grey boundaries, it's a bit like having a BA and an SA. Right? If you don't recognise that the SA is actually part of the requirements capture process, and the BA is actually part of the solution design process, you forget how your team builds a solution. You say, I'm going to stop that because they give me a BRD. Done, BA done, out. Right. That's not right.
So going back to the stack, I'll finish off I think, look, for me, an enterprise architect is someone who can sit down, do a SWOT analysis, understand Port's 5 forces, all of that stuff, understand the market, and understand where the business is going. I also think, and this is my bias, I think a good enterprise architect can actually then go down. Because the thing is, if you can't, you work as a solution architect, if some enterprise architect come along and you would just think, waffle merchant, go away, God deliver. No, you would. You know? So I think you've got to be able to go up and go down, you know? And you know, you see my style, you know, I think you need to be able to get down to this level as well as operate at that level.
I think you're right. I think you do need to get. I don't think you do need to go down. I just think you need to understand when you are going down because you're almost doing a different role. And I'm not saying let's
flip this round, right? Okay. And you know what? I started at the beginning by talking about the value, right? Let's flip this around. Your company is struggling, okay? Your company is struggling. You know, market forces have impacted it. You're struggling to make money, profit, right? Okay? Not talking about this, but you know what? Let's turn the video off. Turn it off. Let's stop there. Yeah? Right. So, right. I will take these and I will map it all back, and I'll try and the key thing for me was, what do you define as an artefact? I think, some good stuff. They've already got a list, right? And I'll do a write-up on it. So, yeah, that's it, really. Right, the plan now. Oh, we don't use clap.
Oh, no, no, no.